Hello guys, this is your girl T, and this is like a fast edition of T's Corner. And if you follow my videos and you already know the deal with the shirt, it's the same day. I'm making like 100 videos, so I'm not dirty and wearing the same clothes over and over again. I wanted to do a video, since I'm doing reviews of season 1 of Greenleaf, episodes 1 through 8. I wanted to also do just a little piece on what I think about the number one on the call sheet for Greenleaf, Miss Merle Dandridge. I am not familiar with her work. I'm getting to be, though. But I'd never heard of Merle Dandridge until the Greenleaf previews. And I was just like, whoa, I have got to see this show. It looks like it's going to be good. And I can honestly say, even though I don't watch Oprah and I'm not into talk shows and I never have been, I have never seen Oprah act in anything that I didn't like. Never. So knowing that Oprah was part of this process and this show, and that she was going to be executive producing, and that she was also going to have a recurring role, I had to see it. And then, of course, Miss Lynn Whitfield. There's not enough that I can say about Miss Lynn Whitfield. I took French from 6th grade through college because I saw Miss Lynn Whitfield portray Josephine Baker. That is the impact that this woman has had on my life. I mean, you know, I eat fromage because of Lynn Whitfield. So I was, it didn't take much to sell me on at least watching the pilot. And then you have Keith David, who's also phenomenal, and we've seen him in a million things as well. But the rest of the cast is relatively unknown to me. And that's not like I know everybody in Hollywood and everyone working and everybody who's part of the Screen Actors Guild or anything like that. It's just that I'd never seen any of them in anything. And I'm a TV junkie, but I also have my choice of drugs, so to speak. And so I watch pretty much the same shows or the same type of shows all the time. And not really impressed with much that's new. So I generally don't watch new shows. Now, if the new shows are starring someone that I know or that I'm familiar with and a fan of their work, then I'm going to give it a try. And lately I haven't been disappointed, which is odd, because I mean, for years. When I say years, I'm 36 years old. I've been watching the same shows since I was 16. That's like, it's not too much new that I do. I'm still listening to 1980s hip-hop and 1990s because I'm disappointed in what they play on the radio and call it hip-hop. I'm disappointed in these rappers, and I'm disappointed in these fake singers and what they call music. So I don't like new stuff. And while I'm all for people evolving and growing, that don't mean I'm gonna like what you come out with next. So new shows that I've really been watching, when Empire hit, of course, Terrence and Taraji, it was no way I wasn't watching at least the pilot. And then I liked the show. I did fall off a little bit in the last season, but that's because I work like all the time and I'm never home to watch anything. And I'm too cheap to buy DVR. So there is that. I am frugal. I admit it. I am not ashamed. Then How to Get Away with Murder. Again, love Viola Davis. It was no way I was not going to watch the pilot. So I did, and I'm hooked. Now, I have not missed an episode. I might have missed it, but I caught up. Hulu, Netflix, do me good. I'm straight. Also, which is not a new show, but I've just been so inspired by Shonda Rhimes, and I was like, I like Carrie. I watch movies with Kerry Washington in it, so let me, see. And I, 5 years in, had never watched Scandal, and my mother is like a Scandal junkie. She is definitely a Gladiator, and every time I was at her house and she was watching, I always seen something that turned me off, and so I was like, yeah, I can't get with this. Mostly Tony Goldwyn. I'm just like, I'm not here for Fitz most of the time, and that has not changed, even though I have now become a fan of the show. I'm not an Olitz fan. I do not want to see Carrie and Fitz together, and even though I don't, I have to admit that their love story and their past, it does get me sometimes in a soft spot. And I'm like, oh, but then like, he don't do her right, and he ain't shit, and no. So, and I love Jake. Jake is gorgeous. There is that. But after 5 years of being on the air, I finally became a gladiator and started watching Scandal. And then once I watched it, I watched the first 5 seasons up to where it was in season 5 in like a week. But the new shows that are new to the air that I have really gotten into are Underground and now the Greenleaf, and also what is it on Bounce TV? Saints and Sinners. So those 3 shows are the new shows that have really piqued my interest and that I have been watching. Now, with Saints and Sinners, it's a good show, but nobody on the show, it's like very few of them were new to me, new actors. I'd seen them all in something else, so I already knew, just putting them together as an ensemble cast, I would like it. You know, it just depends on the writing. So I watched, and I do enjoy Saints and Sinners on Bounce TV, so shout out to them. And so I watched that show. And then Underground on WGN. I just thought, when I looked at the previews, I'm one of those people who gets very angry watching slave narratives, so I don't do well with watching them. My whole persona gets really evil, mean, and quiet, and that could be dangerous. So I generally don't. Like, I watched Roots when I was in junior high school, and it messed me up for weeks. I was like telling my best friends who were white, look, you can't talk to me right now. We still friends, but just leave me alone for a couple weeks. Let me get myself together. And so because of that, and because that is how I internalize that period, I try to educate myself, but I don't entertain myself with that stuff. So with Underground, something about it just caught me as different, and I was like, I have to see it. And I'm not disappointed, not at all. Amazing show, amazing cast. And I mean, you know, we know that Journey Smollett-Bell is in the lead, and we've been watching her forever. So it's not like you expect it to be bad, because I've never seen her do anything that disappoints either. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that and see what it's about. And then I watched it and was immediately just like, it was about revolution. It wasn't about being a slave. And that exodus is something you can't help but be proud of. And, you know, being born in Virginia and raised in Maryland, you know, we grow up around here on Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. So that exodus is something that you can't help but be proud of. And the Underground television show on WGN is letting us be a part of that exodus. So we're not the downtrodden, beaten, defeated race in this show that we normally are in slave narratives. And I love it. But the hidden gem that I found in watching it was Miss Amira Van. And for those of you who don't know, that is Miss Ernestine. If you're not watching, you're missing out. Get the DVD, season 1, and get ready for when season 2 comes back. This woman is no joke. And I'm not talking about Amira. I just had to say that. I'll do another video and talk about her. But I'm just saying, you know, with these new shows, there's some, even though these new shows have old actors, there's always someone that I have not been, you know, these are artists that I haven't been introduced to their work before now. And the same goes for Greenleaf and Merle Dandridge. Never heard of her before Greenleaf. And after the pilot, I was like, where can I get more of Merle Dandridge? So, my trusty YouTube, you never let me down. I have found that the woman can sing for real. And that's always a bonus with me, because like I said, I'm so disappointed in what the radio passes off as music. So when I find someone who is genuinely talented, it is just like, oh, I have struck gold today. And I have struck gold with Merle Dandridge. And I'm like, she's an amazing actor. She's a great singer. And now I would love to see her on Broadway. And I look at some clips of stuff, and like I said, trusty YouTube never lets me down. And I just think that this woman is amazing. And so I'm looking forward to getting more of Merle Dandridge now. And after, you know, learning just how awesome she is and how talented she actually is, I'm really, really mad with OWN and the showrunners and everyone at Greenleaf, because they're only giving us 10 episodes. That has gone by so fast. It is over in 2 more weeks. In 2 more weeks, we are done with season 1 of Greenleaf, and that is not enough. So, having said that, I just think that anybody who is not watching the show should watch it because it's entertaining, it's educational, and Merle Dandridge is a powerhouse. And you would think that she would get lost because there's Oprah, there's Lynn Whitfield, there's Keith David. She is not getting lost. She is running this show. She's #1 on the call sheet, and she should be. So y'all better check it out.